Here at Washburn, we've been having a lot of fun getting ready for the 100th anniversary, but one of our favorite finds comes from the 1930s. In the 1930s, one of the foreign languages that you could take was German, and Maria was a student who went to school here and eventually became president of the German Club, a place where you could go to eat some German sausage or do some dance to German music or sing O Tannenbaum at Christmas time. Maria had a pen pal for a long time, Jutta, who she kept track of in Germany. But as we go through the 30s and get close to World War II, the letters start to change, and you're going to find that some surprising things happen.
Dear Maria, heartfelt thanks for your letter. I was very happy to get it, especially because I hadn't expected it yet. Hopefully, our exchange of letters will last a long time. It has an even greater value to me now because there is a possibility, as you have written, that we might be able to see each other in a few years. Do you want to do an educational trip to Europe? Or do you want to get a job here? Have you already made the decision about what you want to be someday? I have the desire to become a secretary. I am also very amazed at your German. Is your mother a German? I would like to first describe myself to you. I was born on the 25th of April, 1921, in Hamburg. My hair is brown and curly. I have blue-green eyes. Like you, I like to play the piano. I have had lessons for 7 years. Do you actually know what an accordion is? We call it a ship piano. I like to play it. My favorite composer is Handel. Much to the annoyance of my mom, I also like to play hits from films all the time. With the rest of my free time, I keep myself busy with reading and sewing. I am especially interested in new innovations in fashion. So if you see something interesting sometime, please think of me, okay? Oh, I looked at the clock. With best love, I remain, Jutta Stossel. My dear Maria, today I finally want to start to answer your dear letter. In the meantime, things have happened here in Germany that are of world-class historical importance. Perhaps you heard it yourself. There was an indescribable joy throughout all of the German regions as our Austrian brothers were incorporated into the German Reich. Adolf Hitler's trip through Austria, it is his fatherland of course, was an unparalleled triumph. On the 10th of April, every German will have the opportunity through a national vote to show their support for the Führer. The achievements of the Chancellor are simply tremendous when one thinks that during the occupation, not a single shot was fired. The people ran to meet their Führer jubilantly. Everywhere there were great joyous rallies. Today, already, the first 1,000 Austrians arrived in Hamburg for a rest and relaxation trip. During these great events, I finished my 10 years of schooling. Your Jutta. Dear Maria, a week long I was unable to write. When I did have time, I read the newspaper or listened to the radio. I assume you're acquainted with the Czechoslovakian question. At the moment, it is a very exciting time. Will there be war? Hopefully, the Czech question can be solved diplomatically. So now, my dear Maria, I want to change the subject to one that you have never mentioned. Cross my heart and hope to die. Perhaps it isn't within you to talk about it, but I think girls of our age are in this respect all the same. If you think this question is too personal, I ask that you excuse it. I think a great surprise and shock awaits you, because my dear Maria, I got engaged over Pentecost. You weren't expecting that, were you? But you cannot believe how happy I am. Now you are going to get a personal description of him. Well, very pleasant looking, age 25 years, job, infantry officer. Not musical at all, but otherwise a really great guy. So now I have shared my great secret, and I hope you are happy for me. I would also be pleased if you would tell me something about your boyfriend. For today, the dearest and best greetings from your Jutta. Also, lots of dear greetings to your dear parents. My dear Maria, I wish you and your dear parents a heartfelt Merry Christmas. I'm ashamed of my rudeness towards you because I haven't thanked you for such a long time for your dear letter. I would like to ask your forgiveness as best I can, and I think you will understand me, without lots of words. This sentence says it all. You are also the front. Your father will be able to explain that to you. He knows what total war is. The commitment of our entire people and our casualties were not in vain. My dear Maria, please excuse that I have become so political, but in these times one only thinks and speaks of such things. That means the theaters, operas, movie theaters, fairs, and dance halls are, in spite of blackouts, still open and well visited. Well, more privately. My fiancé is, thank God, not at the front. Even for the Polish campaign, he was in the homeland, because not all of the soldiers were used. You can naturally understand his great displeasure, because as an officer, he wants to show what he can do. But I am not at all of the same opinion, and wish from the depths of my soul that this terrible war will soon be over. Just think, with every postal delivery I am afraid I will get a letter that he is being activated. It is out of the question that we plan the future and marry. Well, everything will take a turn for the better. So please don't be angry that this letter is so short this time. But my work is piling up and I am too nervous to sit around anymore. Therefore, the most heartfelt greetings to you and your Dickie. Always your friend. Also, many dear greetings, Yuda. My dear Maria, 1,000 thanks for your dear letter and birthday wishes. Well, what news should I report to you about me? Thank God my family is doing pretty well. In spite of the bright sunshine and flowers and the trees in their new green, one can't really be happy. The war is like a black wall in front of all of it. Hopefully not too many of our nice young men will lose their lives. But spring will once again return to Germany, and everything will be nicer and more splendid. I think you will understand these words, right? Last night, we were in the air raid shelter between 1 to 3 a.m. Air raid! Hamburg, a city on the south side of the Elbe River across from Hamburg, was bombed. And now the lovely sun is shining again, and one thinks the thunder of the anti-aircrafts were just a nightmare. Just yesterday, I got a letter from the Horst in which he told me he was leaving Bremen. He's definitely going to the front. He is now with the chemical troops, gas, flamethrowers, and rocket launchers. Can you even imagine what all that is? At this time, there was a big battle going on in Belgium. The decisive battle. One is supposed to be able to hear the cannon fire as far as southern England. Well, hopefully you can follow everything in the newspaper, but it depends on what they write about us in the world. It would be best if you came right after the war and saw with your eyes the blossoming of the greater German Reich. My dear Maria, I do not know how much and what I am allowed to write. Therefore, enough of politics and war. The main thing is that my greetings reach you and that we make it through this difficult time, right? And please, you write me back soon again. It is so nice, in spite of the war, to get greetings that have floated over the Atlantic. I send you and your parents the most heartfelt greetings, and here's to hearing from you soon. Always, wholeheartedly, your Yuda.
Dear Fraulein Maria, you will certainly be surprised by the receipt of this letter, with handwriting that is for you so unfamiliar. But it is my duty to thank you for my dear, good, and so brave daughter, for the letter which you intended for her. Dear Fraulein Maria, please hold your heart firmly with both hands, because I have to share with you and your dear parents something that is, for all of us, an unspeakably sad piece of news. That my dear, always cheerful Jutta, my dear good wife, and the little, just 3-year-old Jorg, Jutta's splendid little boy, have been dead for 1 year and 1 month. Oh, how these lines stir up all my pain and my sorrow, but you, my dear Fraulein Maria, you have a right that I faithfully describe everything, even if it is difficult for me. For my part, I found myself as a civilian bank officer in the Foreign Service in Belgium, Holland, and Italy. In July of 1943, Hamburg experienced the worst air raid that left this beautiful Hansa city almost completely in ruins. At that time, we also lost our beautiful home. So my loved ones evacuated. They suffered from the loss of all of our worldly possessions, but they were comfortable there and bravely put up with it, and traveled almost every week to Dresden, where they spent several days with our relatives. But well, on February 13, 1945, during the Great Air Raid on Dresden, all 7 of them burned to death. At the beginning of May, the Russians started moving again in a westerly direction. So people fled behind the American lines to safety. My loved ones made this attempt, but fell into a pocket with German troops, surrounded by Russians. Then there was no way out for the poor ones. And in this hour of greatest need and desperation, Yuta took a completely new Mauser pistol and shot her sweet little Jorg, then her dear mother, my dear wife, and then herself, so that they would not fall into the hands of the Asiatic hordes. The only thing that I have kept through this terrible collapse is my position at the Reichsbank. For clothing, undergarments, and footwear, I only owned that which I had with me in my suitcase in Italy. Dear Fräulein Maria, may I ask you and your parents for a favor? Believe me that it is difficult to ask for help. We always had a comfortable standard of living, but I am literally confronting having nothing. I would be very grateful if you would send me a food package. For today, I send you and your dear parents most heartfelt greetings. Your unhappy Otto Stossel.